Okay. So. Here we are. Falconreath? Falconreath? Falkreath? 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 I've lost it now. There we go. Told you it would happen. Falconreath? Falkreath. Falkreath is right here. And I just cut a corner off the road. So, we're finally here. Lydia. Run! Why is the guard? Okay, let's just talk to him.
Dog out there.
What sort of dog?
I don't know really. The blacksmith is offering a reward for a dog he saw on the road. I was hoping you'd seen it. I guess I'll stay on the lookout. Keep your nose clean while you're here, outsider.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't planning on falling face first into mud.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
Okay, so.
Well met. Unlike my brother, I've no dislike of strangers. Met lots of them while I was a Stormcloak.
You're a Stormcloak?
I was once, but not anymore. I was wounded in a skirmish up near Windhelm. This was years ago, mind you. Now maybe I don't pick up a blade in Ulfric's name no more, but I still hold with his ideals. Skyrim is Nordland, and we ought to rule it. We don't need no help from the Empire on that count.
You mentioned your brother? Who is he?
His name's Bolin. He's the one who works the lumber mill down by the river.
Oh, right.
If you meet him, don't expect much in the way of conversation. He ain't one for talking, especially with folk he don't know.
Okay. Right, so we'll be right back after some shopping. No, we are done with shopping, which, yeah, we are. Oh yes, it's a graveyard. Place is a massive graveyard.
Some of the miners brought back some real stubborn pieces of lore.
You see a hound on the road. Fine, strong creature that's been wandering near town.
I've seen a whole pack of dogs.
No. This one's alone on the road outside of town. I can't afford to. If you are willing to retrieve him.
Hello there. What can I do for you? Blades, gauntlets. I can forge anything you need.
You're literally a little young to be a blacksmith.
I'm Lord's apprentice, although I've been his for less than a season. Before that, I was with Adriana Benici in Whiterun, and before that, Baron in Solitude.
What are the different stops?
I'm on a sort of pilgrimage. When I'm finished, my family expects me to return to Cyrodiil and take over the forge. My name's Isabel, by the way. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What would you say is your expertise?
It depends. I've been taught that emotions are a powerful part of smithing. When I craft a shield, I think of the soldier's child praying for a safe return. For a sword, I envision a man getting revenge for a brother's death. When I imagine a soldier marching after battle, or a hero vanquishing a great evil, that's when my hammer feels most inspired.
Okay.
Just to know that I was a part of that it was my steel, it just takes your breath away thinking about it.
That's a fair point, actually. You come from a family of blacksmiths.
Just any family. Ever heard of the Starblood Forge?
No.
My family has been the caretaker of it for centuries.
Is that an Oblivion
It was
thing?
made not long after the Oblivion Crisis, and next to the Eld Memorial and the hero statue, it's one of the most iconic landmarks in the Vatch. They say it was built atop a well of Daedra's blood, and it's in that well that the weapons are cooled.
I doubt that, but...
Some even say that the forge itself is haunted, specifically with the soul of one of my ancestors.
I wonder if this is a reference, because I'm not certain if that's a reference or not. How did the story come about?
Legend has it that when the Daedra invaded, she refused to leave her shop, smithing weapons for the townsfolk until the last man had fallen. That's why only those who share her blood can use the forge, and tradition that the firstborn daughter will be the one to
Oh, I
inherit it.
see.
That would be me. It's an honor, I suppose.
Oh, you don't want to do it, do you? What happens if you don't inherit it?
The responsibility of the forge would likely go to the next daughter in line, my sister Felicia. A fine choice. She has always been the more creative smith. Diamond-encrusted pommels, hilts that shimmered like drake scales. Everything she made was beautiful. And it wouldn't matter if the blades couldn't cut warm butter. Nobody would ever use them for battle.
You don't sound that enthusiastic.
I know. Some people think it's the pressure or the burden of carrying on the family name. But the truth is, it's the clients. It's not like the Skyforge here. If I took over the family business, I would be crafting swords for nobles.
Ah,
It would be decorative art pieces, locked away in display cases, or mounted over their beds.
I understand.
I would be an artist more than a blacksmith. There'd be no blood on my blades, no chinks in my armor. That's not what I want.
Yeah, I
I
understand
want
what
to
you
craft
mean.
weapons for heroes. I want to forge weapons that will slay tyrants, and craft armor that repels
Well,
dragons.
don't worry, there's plenty of dragons around. He's like writing books.
I aim to.
Live your own life.
The orcs say that everything you craft carries a piece of your spirit. A blade crafted with hate will be sharper, but heavier than a blade crafted with love. When the day comes that I must return to Kvatch, I won't have to tell my mother of my intentions. I need only forge them.
So, wait,
The responsibility has always been the more,
whoops.
and it wouldn't matter that the blades couldn't cut warm butter. Nobody would ever use them for battle.
Didn't you have maybe Dominion conquer Kvatch?
You know your history. Fact is, they took a lot of cities, Kvatch included. My mother says they never would have held it. If they hear her tell it, we would have taken Kvatch back, if not for the Concordant. And her blades would have killed a whole lot of Talmud. Still, the treaty did give us our home back. And if there's one thing the people of Kvatch know, it's how to rebuild.
Yeah, Oblivion Crisis. The forge was possessed by your ancestors.
I probably shouldn't have used the word haunted. It's not like that at all. It's more of a guardian spirit. When it comes time for me to inherit the forge, there's a ritual. A test, actually.
What sort of ritual?
Like my mother before me, and my grandmother before her, I must craft an object that best represents my ideals and spirit.
Ah. What happens if you craft this item?
If the object is deemed worthy, it will earn its place in the Underforge, alongside the blades, shields, and hammers of my ancestors. That's sort of what this pilgrimage is about. I'm here not just to learn from the masters, but to learn about myself. At least, that's what I told my mother. The truth is, I chose Skyrim because of the war, and the chance to forge for true warriors.
Okay. I guess that fits with your kind of outlook.
Alright,
Do you ever get bored here?
it's alright. Although we've gotten a lot less visitors after the dragon attacked Hill.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed most, meeting all the travellers who crossed the border from Cyrodiil and sharing stories of home. But now you're here, and I can tell just by looking at your hands that you've got stories to tell.
I was at Helgen when the dragon attacked.
You don't say. And by the looks of it, you managed to keep your wits about you. Impressive. I probably would have been staring at it. No, not just staring. I'd be completely awestruck. I mean, a dragon. A fairy tale come to
There's
life.
loads of them around
That's
now.
what I'd be thinking right before it turned me to roast. Which is why you're an adventurer and I'm a blacksmith.
What do you have for sale?
What can I do for you?
Okay. So. What? That is everything there. Now, I suppose we should go see the Jarl. That is why we came here after all, I suppose.
On the Sid Gear can sometimes act too quickly, but he does listen to Helvert and I.
Okay. How long have you been
It was
steward?
Dengear who made me a steward, long ago when he was young. When Dengear's health began to fail, young Sidgeir was appointed Jarl in his stead.
Right, okay.
It was simpler just to keep me as steward.
Ah.
Sidgeir has no interest in running his hold, and so leaves such
That
matters
doesn't
to me.
sound good.
As for my part, I do my best to see that folk are treated fairly.
Good for you. Why is the cemetery so
Many
large?
battles have been fought here over the centuries. Graves were dug and monuments built, and the town grew around these. In time, Falkreath came to be known as the Heroes' Graveyard.
Oh, I
Many
understand.
noble jarls and renowned warriors asked to be buried here.
Okay.
Falkreath's reputation has faded somewhat, but the graves remain, reminding us of the one inevitable truth of life.
Lovely. Any work?
The Jarl has put out a bounty on the dragon that's been terrorizing the countryside. Here, take a look at this decree for details.
Okay, thank you. Let's...
Yes? What is it that you want?
I got your letter. I'm D3.
Ah, it's you. Yes, well, now we'll see if the stories about you are true.
What stories?
There's a group of bandits in my hold that I may have had a few discreet dealings with. The cut they were giving me was good at first, but now it's time to clean things up.
Well, I
Go
immediately
and
don't
take care
like
of
you.
it.
I'll do it. I mean, I didn't like you from what the other person said, but I like you even less now.
Good.
How do you become Jarl while you're so young?
My uncle Dawngaurd was Jarl until a short time ago. His old age and failing health caught up with him, and he stepped down. He now serves us honorably as Thane, and to the great benefit of the hold, I now serve as Jarl.
I seriously doubt that. Doesn't your only experience make your job difficult?
I'm a Jarl. I eat the most succulent meat, drink the finest ale, and hunt with the best hounds in the hold.
That's
Meanwhile,
not the...
my very capable steward sees to the needs of the small folk, and ensures that my hold runs smoothly.
So...
Being a Jarl could hardly be simpler. You should try it sometime.
You're a complete idiot who has no idea what he's doing.
Execute every last bandit. Spare no one.
Okay, let's see. Every last bandit. Guess that includes you. By your own admission. Well, it wasn't a bandit, exactly. Can I? I'm not going to steal it, but I need practice with lockpicks. Not that I like the guy. Oh. Ooh. Okay, so he's a complete idiot. Right, I'll remember that. Still, doesn't mean turning down the offer. Doesn't mean I should turn down the offer. Right. I should probably stop saying stuff like that. Dragons? Well, it wasn't Little Elf, that's different. Little Elf is used a lot. Right, where was I? Oh yes, I was going to go to the stupid
Disrespect
inn.
the law and you disrespect me.
Yes, I get it.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors.
Be mindful. My maid Tikla has been known to pass information to that pompous nephew of mine, Sidgeir.
What?
I was young.
Oh, you're the uncle.
But I was encouraged to step down when I took sides with the Stormcloaks. It was an Imperial plot, I tell you.
You said you were Jarl once?
Well, not against me, against all of Falkreath.
Oh, wrong one.
Those Imperial bastards are spying on every one of us.
Oh, you're a bit paranoid, aren't you?
Last night, I saw Laud the blacksmith writing a letter. Are you loyal to Skyrim? Break into Laud's house and enemies...
You said you were Jarl once?
Aye, not so long ago. Some will tell you I stepped down on account of my old age. Truth is, I found out about all the Imperial spies crawling around Falkreath. A few well-placed bribes, and they bought themselves some friends. Suddenly, nobles are calling for a new Jarl. And all the while, they named me Thane. They got my nephew Sitgeir in my place. A real
really?
I
thought it was complete.
Mind what you say. The Empire has ears all over.
A visitor. Always good to see a new face. Don't mind me though. Just think of me as dust on the wall.
Dust.
So I am, my lord. But I'm still dust. The gods ignore me, and the flies pay no heed. So why should you?
What are you in for?
Would you believe me if I said I was friend? I guess it wouldn't matter much if you did, unless you're the new captain of the guard.
Wait, you're a prisoner. Why are you in the pub then?
I'm just your average horse thief. I suppose my presence here is proof that I ain't a good one. Thanks for coming.
Okay, that's weird.
We drink to our youth to
oh, it's a celebration, that's why.
Welcome to Dead Man's Drink.
That explains it.
Ah, you scared me. For a second there I thought you were a hired thug.
No, I'm not. Why, is someone after you?
Yes. Well, maybe. Let's just say I may have angered the wrong folks.
Why does everyone I meet have so many problems? You should apologize. Who is it who wants you dead?
I probably shouldn't say this, but it makes no difference now. It's Maven Blackbriar.
Oh, I've heard of her.
I'm so scared.
I think. Yes, I have. Why do they want to kill you?
I used to live in Riften and do odd jobs around town. One day I decided to ask Maven's daughter if she needs any help. It turns out she's an alchemist and needs someone to fetch her ingredients.
Okay.
Only the things she asked me to retrieve aren't worth the trouble. Giant's toes, Daedric hearts. How in Oblivion am I going to get those?
Find them, kill some things. Why not just decline?
That's the problem. I'm the one who would ask her if she needed help. It's not just Ingen either. I have a habit of trying to please everyone. And doing all this work was driving me mad.
Drink to our youth, to days come and gone.
So what do you usually free yourself?
I came up with this idea. I couldn't stop asking people for work. But what if they stopped accepting my requests? If I could burn that bridge, ruin it in such a way that Ingen would hate me forever, then I'd never feel tempted to ask her if she needed help.
So, this is a Java player characters, isn't it? That's the most idiotic thing.
Only because I decided to test this theory on a Blackbriar. If it was someone like Bolly, it would have worked.
What did you do?
I wrote her a letter, but it still wasn't nasty enough. Then I met this really angry guy, Puck, in Winterhold. I just scribbled down everything he said. All I had to do was change the name.
This letter must be quite nasty.
Oh, it was. I didn't even know those words even existed. It definitely did what it was supposed to.
What happened to the letter?
Gave it to a courier about a day ago. It wasn't until she left that I realized my mistake. I've been on pins and needles.
Why did I track down the courier
really?
for you?
But what are you going to do? Once a letter's been handed to a courier, you can't take it back.
I'll figure something out.
I guess it doesn't hurt to try. She was headed east. so she likely passed through Helgen. A lot of travelers stop by Iverstead before going to Riften. Maybe you can head her off there. If you find the Courier, try to convince her peacefully. I don't want any blood.
Is that why you're here?
I thought maybe if I made it up to her somehow, she might... Who am I kidding? Ingen might not care, but Maven's another story.
Are you alright?
That's a question I've asked myself for weeks now. Am I alright? Will she be alright? Was it wrong to come here?
Why? What's wrong?
I'm sick. I mean, it would be fine if it was just a cough, but... well, my body hurts so much I can barely walk. And those are the good days.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you considered seeing... Yeah.
Oh, I've tried. I prayed at the chapel in Bruma, at the temple of Kinnereth, and every shrine and altar along the way. I've prayed standing, kneeling. Sometimes prayers aren't enough. Some things are just meant to be.
Sounds like you've given up.
Not at all. I took my daughter and journeyed to Skyrim in hopes of finding a cure. Yet, not even a priestess of Kinnereth can heal what ails me. I'm afraid now that we've come to Falkreath, I won't live much longer. I can only thank the Divines for guiding us this far, and for showing my faith was not in vain.
You should fight it to the end.
I know. My faith wasn't always as strong as it is now. In fact, I almost gave up on the Divines altogether.
Is the young daughter who runs around your daughter?
Henrietta, my baby girl. Bright, talented, and just enough of her father's courage to be brave without being fearless. She complains a lot too, but I forgive her.
She's missing from her mother.
In which part?
The bright and talented.
And here I thought you were going to say the complaining part. Not that you'd be wrong, but it'd be sort of mean to say.
What happened to the father?
Yes, I plan to stay here with my daughter until I've already arranged for a plot of land away from the trees where the stone faces east.
Nice spot.
Thank you. It's funny, when they told me about the Grand Cemetery, I feared Henrietta wouldn't be able to find my headstone. But when we got here, I was relieved. The graveyard is so cozy, and
what happened to the father?
My husband passed away not too long ago. She reminds me so much of him. If she ever asked me what he was like, I would have told her to just look in the mirror.
Tell me about him.
He was a gallant man, and my best friend. Some would say we knew each other better than we knew ourselves. When the Great War began, he was one of the first in our town to enlist in the Imperial Army. He
I know that could
despised
describe anyone, but you don't see too many female couriers.
When the White Gold Concordat was signed, he defected from the Legion to join the Red Guard forces as they pushed the elves back to Somerset Isle. I supported him in his decision.
This is an ode to
I told him to go to
Skyrim's
Galen,
staunch
where
protectors,
the army needed soldiers
the
most.
Imperials.
That's where he met a girl in a small town by the southern peninsula.
A funny moment of weakness.
He said the same. He told me it meant nothing. But, Mara, forgive me, I still loved him. That was the problem. There were too many memories. I couldn't look at the desert sands without thinking about the war. So we moved back to Cyrodiil, to Bruma.
What happened?
Well, things finally began to slow down. It took some time to patch our relationship back together, but we made it work for 20 years. And in the meantime, I had Henrietta.
What happened?
An alchemist told him about a magical plant that grows only in the damp forests of Valenwood. As a base agent, it could make a potion strong enough to cure any disease. Whether he found it or not, he promised to come back in a month's time for Henrietta's birthday. He never did.
He's trying to save you.
It was a foolish thing. A romantic. What did he think would happen to Henrietta if he never came back? If not for the guidance of the Divines, I shudder to think of the consequences.
You sound ready.
I am. I I was afraid to die before, not knowing what would become of my daughter. I thought she would end up lost and alone, a child few people noticed and nobody wanted.